Warning, this podcast contains vampires
and spoilers.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for the Vampire Diaries, Season 6, Episode 16, The Downward Spiral. I'm your host, Dom. With me is the lovely Omikin.
I was about to say, is her lower third up under me? Because that would be amazing. Don't do it. Don't do it, Dom. Don't do it, Dom. It's there. I see it there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it, Dom.
It's there.
Too late. You did it. God damn it, Dom.
So, what are you doing here?
I'm filling in.
Do you even watch this show?
Yeah, I do occasionally.
Oh.
I watch this show enough to know it. Well, okay, I do watch this show. Usually I watch it when Omi watches it or by myself at another time. Mm-hmm. In this case, for this episode, it was by myself at another time after hearing all about it from her.
I believe the last time we had you on this podcast was last season, right?
No. It's been like 2 or 3 episodes.
Was it?
I was on an episode this season. Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's been like 2 or 3. It was the episode after Kai and Luke did their little, fusion dance.
Yes. Okay.
It was the episode directly after that.
That's right. So, I mean, after everything that went on last season and how I remember the 3 of us having the conversation last season, do we even want to keep doing this kind of thing? And then it was left
yeah, fuck that. We're good.
It was left of, hey, let's just watch and see what happens. We'll take it from there. Now, being 16 episodes deep into this this season, have your opinions changed? Are you back on the I should be watching the show every week kind of deal?
I am back on the I should be watching the show every week kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because last season was just horrifically, in comparison to other seasons, because it's season 6 now, was horrifically bad, terrible, boring even. I was just like, I was watching it because we were doing these podcasts and we've so far haven't missed a single one. And we're trying to keep that up. So I'm just like, why am I still watching this show? Like, really? Elena, just go die already. I fucking hate you. Caroline, Stefan, kiss already.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff. And then this season, like, the only thing that last season had going for it that hooked me into potentially watching this season was the end. Bonnie and Damon. Bonnie and Damon just...
So, I mean, let's get into that now. Now that, like, last episode, when Bonnie came back, the first thing she did was she ran to Damon. She made pancakes for him. There was, that whole ordeal carrying over from that. And they were like best buds. They're calling each other. They're reminiscing. They almost, not that they were in love, but like you could see the chemistry of they loved to talk to each other, kind of thing.
They were all each other had.
Yeah, and I mean now, like being back, like when it's just like the dynamic between them had so drastically shifted. I mean, you remember season 1? They were mortal enemies.
Well, yeah, because. Yeah,
Damon was such a dick.
Damon was like, he was in season 1. Damon was pretty much the bad guy for the first half, if not the whole season.
Right.
Until Catherine came in, Damon was the bad guy.
Yep.
So he was the villain of the series. Now that has completely 180'd.
Yeah.
It has actually 720'd, I think.
So
probably by now.
I mean, the dynamic has shifted back. Like, we're back at their season 1 relationship in this episode. Because we had Kai, who, having gone through the merger and having, like, his emotions, like, all jumbled, and he's actually, like, a human being now.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to apologize to Bonnie. And he's genuine about it. He really is.
Well, yeah, he's genuine about it. But, like... Imagine you're stuck in the Groundhog Day scenario, and every single day, this guy finds a new creative way to torture and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
so, and then all of a sudden you're out and this guy wants to apologize, claiming that he has, he's no longer a psychopath. He has emotions now and he's going to be all, apologetic and shit. Yeah. Would you believe him? Knowing that he's a manipulative little fucker? I wouldn't believe him. I mean, I think she's perfectly justified in her reactions towards Kai. Right. I think she's going a little... I mean, I understand she's pissed at Damon for, like first off, bringing it up. And then she says, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't ever want to see that guy. And then he kind of, like, shoves him in her face, basically.
Yeah, I mean, how would you react to that? Would you hear him out?
No. Maybe I would listen to the words that came out of his mouth, and then I'd probably want to stab him.
So you would listen to them, but without hearing them? Yeah,
pretty much. See, I don't know how I'd react in Bonnie's situation, how that would have, played out for me. But I feel she was justified in her reaction to Kai. So,
I mean, Damon's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Like, if he sat down and explained to Bonnie, hey, this is involving my mom. Like, because at the beginning of the episode, we see Damon and Kai off on a little adventure of digging up Damon's mother and, and checking the casket. And sure enough, she's not inside.
Well, what a shocker.
So Kai, still having some Kai tendencies in him, is trying to manipulate and gain leverage on Damon to get something he wants, but it's not something evil in this case. It's something that I think Damon can actually, like, justify and relate to. Mm-hmm. Like, Kai wants to do the right thing. He wants to apologize to Bonnie. Bonnie doesn't want to talk to him. Bonnie's not going to want to see him. So he's trying to use Damon as leverage for that. And yeah, it's wrong, but for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's right for the wrong reasons. One of those two.
Yep.
So, I mean, if Damon just... yeah, he tried. He called her and said, look, forget it. I'll handle it. Because you saw how fired up she got about Kai to begin with. But then bringing Kai to see her face, that was the wrong move on Damon's part. That was just dumb.
Yeah, he kind of... I mean, I understand he was kind of in a rush. He wants answers about his mother now rather than tomorrow, so he's kind of not thinking straight there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, for all his mother died in 1858 as far as he was concerned.
Of consumption.
Yes, tuberculosis.
Mm-hmm. So...
not fun.
Yeah. I think if he just, especially with all the time that him and Bonnie spent together, he should know how she's going to react.
Mm-hmm.
He should have known, hey, sit down and be like, look, I understand you and Kai had issues. Hear me out. But this is involving my mother. This is, I think Bonnie would have taken it completely differently.
Maybe. I don't know. Bonnie's kind of in a sort of a doesn't want to be fucked with sort of mode right now. Because, yeah. I mean, the guy was being pushy, hitting on her at the rave, and she just like...
Well, she's hot.
Oh, it's like, hey, you're hot. And then she burns his hand like, hey, I'm hot.
It's true, she is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then she's like, don't tell Jeremy I'm back. And then she calls Jeremy. Jeremy doesn't answer. She gets the voicemail. So I'm curious, what is Jeremy up to? We're not going to find out anytime soon. But, Steve McQueen is off of the show for a while. He's just going to be making a couple guest appearances here and there. So I'm sure the first time we see him, if it's not already recorded, that they're going to show whatever he's done, and they may have just recorded it in a block before he left and have it archived to use later, somewhere down the road. So get it out while he's still employed if they know the direction that they're taking with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she called him. She got the voicemail. And she's like, look, I'm a different person. Let me figure me out before you come running home. I'm going to come visit you when I'm ready. Do you think Jeremy's going to react? Like, we know as viewers and whatever watching the show that he's not going to come. But in that particular situation, the character, Jeremy, do you feel like Jeremy would rush home?
Probably, unless he was embroiled, stuck in something way more important. Well, for him, nothing's more important than Bonnie, but I mean, if he was stuck in the middle of whatever the hell he's doing in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where he is. Yeah, other than that, he would rush home immediately.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why Bonnie. I mean, it's better than keeping it a secret, I guess, because we know what happens with anybody that keeps secrets on this show. So
I mean, yeah, he would initially. He said the second, everybody said the second Bonnie gets back, we'll call you.
yeah,
And then she gets back as like, no, don't call him. Don't call him just yet.
yeah.
Right?
I think it was a little soon, but at the same time, if it slipped, somebody said something.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's better he hears.
we don't know how in contact people are being with him. We don't know if like Elena's calling him on a daily basis, weekly basis. We don't know.
Right.
He just left. So, if anything, I think they may have filmed like a phone call conversation, maybe. I don't think they probably filmed too much.
Yeah.
Because it seemed very sudden, his departure from the show.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem like something they had really planned out, and then he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna step away from this for a while, guys, and they just kind of wrote him out. I think it just happened to work out like that.
I mean, yeah, we saw the announcement, like, what?
During the winter break.
Yeah, we saw the announcement that he's going to be leaving in an upcoming episode, and that was that. And it just seemed so sudden. Like, they had the episode planned out, and it's like they shoehorned in the last 5 minutes of Jeremy leaving.
Yeah. But I mean, all that aside, so this episode, I'm not sure if you were aware, this episode was actually directed by Ian Somerhalder.
I was aware.
And it was his directorial debut. I thought it was phenomenal, and a lot of different reviews and stuff that I was reading around online were like, if this was his directing thing and he's trying to take the responsibility for that, he shouldn't have been acting in it. I mean, you can't really do this show without Damon in it. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. If it was not as main character as Damon, I could understand the not acting in it thing.
Yeah.
But it's Damon. It's like
people also have to keep in mind
without Shaggy.
Yeah. But people also have to keep in mind, just because you're directing doesn't mean you have control over the story.
Right, exactly. You're just, the story is there. As the director, you're making sure you get the best performance out of people.
Right.
Like, that's kind of your thing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure everything goes smoothly, and you get an Academy Award-winning performance out of Elena.
I mean, just recently we had Julie Plec, the main writer of the show, do her directorial debut, and that was the Caroline's mother's funeral episode. Okay. And she said that she filmed and cut and edited the whole thing, and when it was done, it was an hour long. She still had to cut 16 minutes out of the show.
Ew.
So she's like, I already have this final completed thing that I was extremely happy with, that I felt conveyed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she still had to cut almost 20 minutes of it out.
At that point, it's like, call up the network executives and be like, guys, do we really need commercials for this episode?
Yeah, that'll fly. So I know a lot of those scenes will probably end up on the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
And like the deleted scenes and stuff like that.
Good point. They do that.
But she was still able to get the story out and cut out all. She at that point she decides what is story. She's got a little more room with that because she's the writer as well. But she was able to determine what was actually considered story and what deemed more importance over and
right.
Other than just cutting out a few establishing shots and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Ew, 16 minutes. That's a lot to cut out of.
It is.
Jeez.
That's the entire length of what we've done so far on this podcast.
Okay.
That's cutting that much out.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. So, last we left Caroline last episode.
I want to talk about it.
She turned off her humanity, snapped Elena's neck, and booked.
Good, finally, someone else snapped Elena's neck. Sorry, 6 seasons. I'm annoyed with her.
Really?
It's just a progressive, growing annoyance over Elena. But
Elena.
It's now Caroline. Finally, we have the potential for her and Stefan to finally break the sexual tension between them.
Mm-hmm.
More so than has already been slowly broken. Nope. This whole episode, I was just Omikin said I would be rolling my eyes a few times during this episode, and she was damn right. Like, God damn it, Caroline, why?
I'm gonna start off by saying in season 1 I hated Caroline, hated her.
I
wanted
hated her
nothing more than her to die.
And then she gets, it seemed like she was gonna die, and it's like, nope, you're a vampire now.
Yeah, and then after she was turned into a vampire, it was sometime around midway through season 2 when I realized I didn't hate her anymore.
You're right. She's been growing on me, and I've been slowly but surely enjoying the character Caroline way more, especially this season even. And this episode undid all of it.
Really?
My first reaction after the end of this episode was, why couldn't this bitch just have died at season 1 like I wanted her to then?
See, now me, I like her even more.
You know what?
She's a female season 1 Damon right now.
You're right, and that is entertaining, I guess. For entertainment value, it's fine, but I don't know why. I'm just cursing at my screen like...
I mean, she threw a whole rave party. She invited a bunch of people. So Elena, Stefan, they went looking for her, and Stefan's got this bright idea that he's her emotional anchor. And he goes and tries to get through to her after she said, I'm fine. Let me stay this way for about a year. And then if you do that, no one will get hurt. Of course they couldn't listen.
No, of course not. It's Elena. Does she listen to anything anybody tells her, and especially her friends?
I am going to have to say, though, in the end of the episode at the bar, when Elena is trying to, talk some sense into Caroline and be like, you're not alone, and kind of when Caroline snipped out, why do you always have to find a way to turn this about you, Elena? I almost jumped up and applauded, because that's exactly Elena.
That was a perfectly executed line, and I do have to hand it to her.
It was great. It was great. Not only was it written well, writers, but Candice Accola, she performed that line beautifully.
My whole reason for hating Caroline after this episode is because I guess I'm fangirling over this, and I want to see her and Stefan happy together.
They are happy together.
I wanted to see them happily in love and together and stuff like that. I guess, you know what, they're happy together, but they don't actually care about each other right now.
Yeah.
So their give a shit, switches have been shut off.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was, Caroline was like, "Hey, you just tried to bring my emotions back. Yeah, I'm your emotional. Stefan's her emotional trigger. Yes, that's confirmed. Whatever." But then she's like, I'm gonna kill... I don't even remember the guy's name.
I don't remember his name. No, she compelled him to kill Sarah.
Yeah, well, that guy. But she's like... Because it was Elena's ex-boyfriend, and it's like... when he first showed his head in the bar, and she's like, oh, you're still... who are you? You're still around or something? However she worded that, I was like, I totally forgot he existed.
So did I.
So, Ian? No.
I don't remember his name. Something.
I don't remember. Yeah, so she compelled him to kill, basically, Sarah Salvatore, Stefan's niece. Great niece, great niece, something like that. Distant relative. And, that they, the whole battle, and Caroline was like, hey, Stefan, if you shut your emotions off, I'll command him to stop. Okay, so Stefan, before turning him off, called up Elena and said,
make sure you come back for me. Yeah. And then he flips the switch, and lo and behold, 15 seconds later, Elena finds, Sarah and what's his name, and saves the day.
So,
why could you be faster?
Stefan turning the emotions off had nothing to do with saving either of them.
Elena would have actually, if Stefan didn't call her, she would have found him. Found them and saved the day before any of that happened.
Yep.
But Stefan delayed it himself. And now that's going to open up
Even delaying it, Elena still saved them. So it was kind of unnecessary to begin with. But How long do you think that Stephanie's going to be this way?
I have it probably till the end of the season.
Yeah.
I have a strange feeling it's going to be till the end of the season.
You don't think it'll carry over into next season?
Maybe it'll carry over into next season.
We only have 6 episodes left.
We do. We're getting down to the wire here. It's going to be at least to the end of the season. I don't know if they're going to carry the whole thing over till next season. Maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe Stefan will go back to his crazy murderous Ripper rampage.
You very well could.
I mean, Omi pointed out that that's genetic. If their mother's a Ripper and Stefan's a Ripper, at least it runs in the family.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say this, Stefan now being all emotionless and Caroline being all emotionless and them in the same place. This is going to open up a crazy can of worms because Stefan was starting to feel stuff for Caroline and Caroline obviously felt stuff for Stefan. Now, Stefan can bring Caroline out of it. He's her emotional anchor, but Elena is Stefan's emotional anchor. What?
Mm-hmm.
I got it. So, when they finally do play the whole anchor chain game and, Elena brings Stefan out of it and Stefan brings Caroline back out of it, that's going to be an emotional triangle of shit because Stefan's going to be like, I still love Elena. And Caroline's going to be like, but Stefan, I love you. I thought you loved me. And then
I also see this bonding time that they're going to have is probably going to go really bad for them when they try to come out of it. It's going to be like, we did all these horrible things. They're not going to be able to look at the relationship the same way again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly.
That's going to cause some issues.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, the other big thing, like you mentioned, was Damon and Stefan's mother, Lily, being a Ripper. So she's a vampire trapped in this other dimension. And me and Nikki were under the assumption that she was a witch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say she wasn't at one point. But you can't be a witch and a vampire at the same time. So right now, she's a vampire. And we get she was a Ripper, that whole thing. So yeah, like you said, maybe it's genetic. Damon didn't quite go on a Ripper spree. It may have skipped him, but Damon has been pretty destructive,
Damon was destructive, and he would kill anybody that suited his fancy. But even while Damon was in asshole mode, he was still in stay under the radar mentality. So he wouldn't just willy-nilly kill people for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
He would still try to maintain his cover and everything like that. And from what we're getting, her name was Lily. She just didn't give a crap. She stayed in one place as long as her cover held, and as soon as bodies started piling up, she got out of there.
Yeah.
So she was just a roaming meat grinder.
It's true. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And
because Damon definitely wants to save her. He doesn't really care. Like, he wants her out of there. He wants to save her, send her back to this world, whatever. He wants to talk to her or something. We don't know exactly his intentions, but
I think right now his intentions are like, Mom, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, he's just in shock more than anything.
I think that's his driving thing is answers, because he is, like I said, in shock.
Yeah. What do you think he wants out of this? Just answers?
Right now, I think it's just answers. Like, because, I mean, he thought his mom died in 1858. Him and Stefan didn't become vampires until the late 1860s, was it?
Yeah, somewhere. Because it had to be about 10 years or so after, because Stefan was still a young child when that happened.
Right, and they fought. They fought in the Civil War.
Yeah.
So that ended in 1865. So I think Damon is. It's possible that their mother dying set the whole chain of events in motion that made them vampires in the first place.
Could be.
Like,
be interesting to find out if Catherine and her mother ever bumped. Like, what if Catherine ends up being the reason, she was turned in the first place?
That's very possible there too. We don't know.
And I was under the assumption this whole time that Catherine did not go to hell like everybody assumed. I thought she was ripped out and pulled into one of these
dimensions.
Yeah, these prison worlds, and that's untrue because we found out this episode, according to Kai, because he's now the keeper of all Gemini knowledge and all that, that there are only 2 prison worlds in existence: the one Kai was trapped in and the one that Damon's mother's trapped in. So there's still no sign of Catherine, so it looks like she's probably gone for good.
Yeah, and as far as... Okay, so Damon wants answers. I don't know what the hell's going to happen with Kai. I kind of want to think that he's playing everybody still. But I don't know there. And I'm sure Caroline will grow on me in her new doesn't give a crap state. It's going to be funny. I'm just, I guess, so crushed over the potential... I don't know, I like Stefan, and I want him to see him happy is basically my thing.
Yeah.
So...
Well, you know what I find funny?
Has pissed me off.
You know what I find funny?
What?
I find Caroline's story is just so much more compelling.
Fuck you. Oh, God.
That's terrible. Anyway, next episode, I lost the title.
I have it. Oh, yeah, I lost the title too.
I will get it 1 second.
Yep, go for it.
I have the synopsis in front of me. I just lost the title.
I see it too. Anyway, next episode.
A bird in a gilded cage.
A bird in a gilded cage.
Yes, which actually I don't even know what song that is. That's some 90s song.
Arthur J. Lance. Who performed it? That doesn't tell me shit.
Oh, you know what? This is not a 90s song. Here's the interesting. Up to this point, A Downward Spiral, which is obviously a Nine Inch Nails reference. This is a song that was a popular song of the early 1900s. It's
reportedly selling more than 2 million copies in sheet music. Holy crap.
Yeah. Composed by Arthur J. Lamb and Harry von Tilzer was the performer. Or the lyrics... composed.
And the music, yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting because that directly is related to the prison world, because that's basically what all these songs, every song title up to this point has been a 90s song reference. This is now 1900 song reference. And for the remaining 6 episodes, we don't have any titles whatsoever. So
right,
we don't know the direction that they're going after this.
Well, check this out, actually, from what you're saying. After next episode, they're taking nearly a month break.
Yeah. I was unaware of this.
Me too.
So apparently we don't return until April 16th.
Yeah.
Jeez. We just go away from a 2-week break, come back, and now we get a month break.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. What do we got?
So next episode, A Bird in a Gilded Cage. Damon travels to the 1903 prison world with the help of Bonnie and Elena. With the help of Bonnie and Kai, Damon and Elena set forth a plan to rescue Damon's mother, Lily, who is trapped in the 1903 prison world. Meanwhile, when Caroline's plan for Stefan backfires, she's left to pick up the pieces. Elsewhere, back at the Whitmore College, Enzo and Alaric's attempt to reel Caroline back in doesn't quite go as planned when they realize they're outmaneuvered. Finally, unexpected gift from Bonnie leaves Damon shaken to his core. That's the one other thing I forgot to mention, was Enzo and
oh, yeah.
Sarah.
Enzo trying to get his, little paws into Sarah. And that whole part was funny. Says, I'm a vampire. Like, I was getting a whole Twilight vibe from it.
He even mentioned Twilight.
Yeah, you want me to say it? And it's like, I'm a vampire. And then she's like, all right. And he's like completely shattered. Like, my plan is ruined. What the hell's going on? And then Caroline's like, he probably compelled her to be completely disinterested by anything about vampires. And his face was probably the exact face I had on at that point. Like, you clever fucker.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great little scene. Mm-hmm. Definitely kind of blew up in his face there, but it's definitely not over either.
And Damon wants answers to... He must really want these answers, because Kai says... Kai's been pretty truthful so far, basically says Lily was she had a body count of over 3,000 they were estimating before they nabbed her. Like, why would you want her out? I doubt 110 years trapped in Groundhog Day land was going to do anything pleasant for this woman's disposition.
On the bright side, Bonnie had to stare at, or Kai and Bonnie and Damon for that matter, had to stare at an eclipse. At least Lily gets the Aurora Borealis. That was pretty cool.
All right, yeah, okay.
It would lose its charm, I'm sure, after a little while, but it's still cool.
Yeah, it would lose its charm after a while, but again, this woman is probably... I can't think of a good analogy for crazy right now, but she is probably beyond crazy. She was crazy when she was put in there.
Yeah.
She is... They're going to let her out, and it's like, congratulations. You just let out a century-old vampire, a vampire who hasn't seen Earth in over a century and was a murderous psychopath.
Yeah. I mean, kind of finding out right now that this episode here ended on this note, I mean, it's still exciting to see the possibility of Stefan with his emotions off and Caroline and the trouble that they're going to get into. Mm-hmm. Having a month break seems like a really weird spot for that to happen. And now we're going to be left, like, wondering for the next, month what's going on. But I feel like if we even got wind that Damon was going to go to help his mother, or if he had got sent there at the end of the episode, that would have been a better month cliffhanger than anything.
Yeah, that would be a better month cliffhanger than anything. You're right.
So, yeah. I think that about does it. You have anything else?
No, I have nothing else.
All right. So,
it's good that I vented my rage for Caroline, because now I'll probably start,
you got a whole
enjoying
month. You got a whole month to let it out. Just let it go. I won't hold you back anymore. Mike, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Thilladrin right there. We're going to get this next episode, and then we're going to have a month. So.
Are we?
Yeah, this next episode airs Wednesday. Okay. It airs tomorrow, which is Thursday, and it's normal time, and then we're going to not get another episode.
Oh, okay, so yeah. So this is... So what I just said, ignore everything I just said at the end there. Damon traveling back into the prison world, if it ends while he's still in the prison world, is going to be... Because it says... The final line is, finally, an unexpected gift from Bonnie leaves Damon shaken to his core. So... That's going to be... It's going to be great. Anyway, you can find me down below at Phenomedom, Phenomedom, do what now? You can also find us on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows.
God damn it, Cleo.
Until next week, see you guys later.
Farewell.
This show is so compelling.
I hate you.